Hello everyone. So this is a bit of a more serious video. This video is being recorded and is going to be set to private unless I decide to make it public. I'm going to be talking about my father and sort of the reasons why I'm not close to him, why I don't talk about him that much, why our relationship is strained, and just to get out of the way, one, I know I don't owe anyone an explanation. This is for my own sake, and also so I have a way to organize my thoughts and organize my feelings in a cohesive way. Two, content warnings for like a bunch of things. Lots of sensitive topics will be talked about. So if you're not able to handle that, please click off this video. And I'm saying this if this becomes public, and also for my friends, I mean it. Content warnings for a bunch of things. Examples like child neglect is going to be one of them. And I don't know how many words I can say. I don't know if YouTube will take this down or not, is the problem. So, our story begins but quite a bit before I was born. My dad, I'm going to call him Jonathan for the sake of this video. I don't want his real name online because I know people will come after him, and I don't want that to happen. Because I don't think it's okay to harass anyone, and I will not be using my birth mother's name. But when I refer to my mother in this, it will not be the mother I talk about on stream or talk about in other videos. I have stated before that that is my grandmother, who I call mom. The person in this video will be my biological mother. And let's call her Abby. And let's call my father Jonathan. So, Jonathan, in his 20s, he met Abby. And, Abby gave Jonathan her name, and she told him her name was Esmeralda. And she told him her age was like 25. Okay? Jonathan believed it, and it wasn't until he met her family that he learned that that was a lie. Esmeralda was Abby's big sister, and her age was not 25. It was 16. And I say 16 loosely. You will find out why. Jonathan, being the dumbass man he is, stayed with her. And she got pregnant. And so, baby Sky and Abby's tummy led to slight problems. So Jonathan married Abby. And Abby was not happy. Abby liked to play around. Abby liked to party. Abby might have been taking things she should not have been taking. And Jonathan didn't do anything. Sky was born, and little baby Sky they got a divorce once Sky was born, but they had split custody. And I don't remember this, but apparently Abby locked baby Sky in a cabinet. Abby left Sky alone a lot, and Abby preferred her boyfriends over taking care of her own child. This led Jonathan to fight for custody, and Abby fought him back and used Sky as a pawn. Used Sky as a way to try and get him to stop. Until the final day of the court. And Abby's mom told her, hey, no, it's better for Sky to go and be with Jonathan. His family, him, they'll give him a better life. So, let him go. And so Abby did. And so the court declared it that Abby abandoned Sky, and Sky was in the full custody of Jonathan. And Jonathan worked. He worked a lot. So much that baby Sky didn't see him that often. Baby Sky saw their grandparents more than anyone else. Jonathan met several women, dated one of those women. I don't know her last name, but I do know her first name, but it's a pretty common first name. But I'm gonna use it anyway because I genuinely want to say something to her. He met a woman named Stephanie, and Stephanie had schizophrenia, and Jonathan really liked Stephanie and asked Stephanie if she was willing to be a mom to baby Sky. And Stephanie, knowing her condition, knowing how unstable she was, said, "Fuck no." And I applaud you, woman. I don't know who you are, I don't know where you are, but oh my god, thank you so much for saving my idiot of a father from making a bad decision. I wish you could have done that more. He is an idiot. I'm so sorry. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to make a little note about her because, like, genuinely, like, oh my god. But Jonathan had a horrible thing called a hero complex. Jonathan believed he could save people. When people talk about, I can fix her, or I can fix him, I laugh about it, like, I joke about it too, I can fix her. But, like, when people take it seriously of, oh, but I swear I can, it makes me really uncomfortable, and it's not their fault. It is because of Jonathan and what he has done. Because Jonathan found a woman who was being threatened by her husband, and this woman had 2 boys, 2 autistic kids, and he had asked Baby Sky if he wanted a mom. And Baby Sky, not knowing what their father meant, was just like, sure, I mean, a mom's okay. I don't know what you're talking about. But Baby Sky gained a mother, a stepmother. And they stayed in a house. And Baby Sky slowly started to lose their innocence. Baby Sky started to have to do chores, which was fine, but there were times where Sky's new stepmother, Diana, let's call her. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Her name's Erin. Fuck Erin. E-R-I-N. That's her name. Fuck her. And you'll understand why I say that in a bit. But Erin was Baby Sky's new stepmother. And Erin would get mad at Baby Sky when they didn't remember how to do things. Baby Sky didn't remember how to fold a t-shirt. Well, how dare Baby Sky? Erin taught her Baby Sky this. Erin told Jonathan not to call Sky Princess because it might go to his head. It might give him an ego. Jonathan, Erin, and Baby Sky's two new brothers, Puppy and Kitty, were going to go on a night walk. And Baby Sky wanted to go with them. So they told Baby Sky if that Baby Sky got dressed and Baby Sky put on their shoes fast enough, that Baby Sky could come with them. Baby Sky couldn't remember how to tie their shoes and was crying, trying to tie them alone because they'd been too late. Baby Sky's Uncle Paul. Baby Sky's Uncle Paul saw this. Saw Baby Sky and held Baby Sky and asked them what was wrong. And when Baby Sky told him, he taught him how to tie their shoes. And Baby Sky was taken to his room and in front of a TV, and Baby Sky watched how to learn about the alphabet and a bunch of other things. Uncle Paul and his girlfriend made sure Baby Sky felt safe and felt okay. And Baby Sky learned things. Baby Sky once was playing with their brothers, and one of their brothers tripped and fell, and Kitty hit his head on the counter, and he needed to get stitches. So Jonathan and Erin left to the hospital, and Baby Sky was left alone with Puppy. And Baby Sky knew in the moment that they had to parent Puppy. They had to tell Puppy that everything was going to be okay. And they knew that they had to be the adult. And they didn't know that this was the beginning of it. That this wasn't a one-time thing. Baby Sky had to learn how to give up things. Baby Sky had his Uncle Rob, who took care of them. And Uncle Rob made Baby Sky feel very happy and very safe. Uncle Rob didn't get mad when Baby Sky couldn't sleep. Instead, Uncle Rob took Baby Sky on a drive, and let them fall asleep in the car. Or Uncle Rob let Baby Sky play video games with him, even though Baby Sky wasn't really playing the video games. One day, Jonathan told Baby Sky that they were moving. They were moving far away to be with Aaron's family. All of Baby Sky's family was there. But Jonathan wanted them to move to a completely different place. And didn't let Baby Sky stay with the family they knew. I learned that grandmother told my father how much of a fucking idiot he was for that decision. Other people told my father how dumb of a decision that was. And he did it anyway. Because he wanted to appease his girlfriend. So, they moved. And when packing, Baby Sky was told that they couldn't keep their stuffed animals that they loved. And so Baby Sky had to get rid of one, despite loving it so much. Despite Baby Sky's brothers being allowed to take all of theirs, Baby Sky couldn't have his. And they moved. And on that trip, Puppy lost his stuffed animal. And Puppy, they bought Puppy a replacement. Baby Sky started to feel like maybe things weren't going to be okay. Because on this trip, Baby Sky learned more and more that maybe they didn't matter. At some point on the trip, we had eaten something that had peas in it. And Baby Sky, was very not feeling well. And I told Aaron and I told my dad that I wasn't feeling well, and neither one of them believed me. And so when I laid down, I threw up. And Erin got mad at me. She got mad that I had thrown up. She got mad that I didn't go to the restroom, even though she had just been in the restroom, so I couldn't have gone. She got mad at a child who was in a strange hotel, who was sleeping on the floor. They moved. The 5 of them moved into the new place, and Baby Sky met their new grandfather. And this grandfather, Baby Sky liked. But this grandfather didn't really get along with his granddaughter. Not his granddaughter. Didn't really get along with his daughter, Erin. But he was trying to be there for her. I learned about this later, but we moved across the country only to find out all of Aaron's family left. He was the only one left who was there. Everyone else was gone. So, wow. but Sky had to get used to new stuff. Sky started to have to do a lot more chores. Sky was told when they asked why their brothers didn't do chores that they'll do chores when they're your age. When they're your age, they'll be doing the same thing. They didn't. They never did. My chores were never handed off to them when they got my age. I didn't. Sky went to a new school, and Sky didn't know anything about this new school, but Sky started to feel like maybe their father wasn't around anymore. Sky started to feel alone. Their father wasn't around in the beginning, but now he was practically non-existent anymore. In days that he did have time off or came home early, he spent in front of his computer. Sky felt alone. Sky didn't know who to trust, who to be with anymore. Sky grew up in this environment several years, and Sky was hit. Sky was slapped every time they did something supposedly wrong. Sky went to bed without food once because they couldn't remember the word cabinet, and Aaron decided that was enough of a reason that I didn't deserve food. Sky wrote a letter that only had the word help on it, and that letter was found by Aaron, and Aaron told Sky that if they were to ever show anyone that letter, that Sky would never see their family again. So Sky never did. So Sky felt scared, and Sky couldn't tell anyone what they were feeling. They had to smile and pretend like everything was okay. They had to pretend they weren't getting beaten, had to pretend they weren't starving. They had to pretend like Aaron's words didn't hurt them every time Aaron called them a brat or bitch or worthless or mistake. Sky didn't know why Aaron was like this. Sky lost all their belongings. Sky wasn't even allowed to sleep on their bed anymore. Sky was bitten by ants almost every night because they were lying on the ground. And Sky's father knew what was happening. Jonathan knew, because Jonathan had witnessed it. Jonathan witnessed Sky be hit. Jonathan had witnessed Sky lose their bed and believed that it was right. Jonathan witnessed Sky in the middle of the night, shivering, cold, and scared that they were going to die. And wondered why, what had happened, and when Sky told them that Aaron didn't give them a blanket like they usually did, he gave it to them. And the next day, when they asked Aaron about it, and when Aaron said, oh well, they never asked, despite Sky not knowing that was even an option, Jonathan just simply looked at Sky and told them that they should have asked. Sky grew up believing this was normal. Sky grew up believing that this is what a family was. Sky grew up thinking there was something wrong with him, because Sky was always being compared to their brothers. Always being told, why can't you do this thing? Your brothers can do it and they're autistic. You're supposed to be their role model. How come you can't do this thing? You're supposed to be the normal one. Sky never did well with math or remembering things. So when Aaron tried to get them to remember the multiplication tables, they couldn't. They had flashcards, and every time Sky got them wrong, Aaron would hit Sky. Sky couldn't remember them. She made Sky write the multiplication tables 1,000 times. Started to make Sky write sentences 1,000 times. Got mad. And yelled at Sky a lot. Then a miracle happened. Sky started to notice the cracks. Sky told their friend, close friend, trusted friend, that they felt like their stepmother didn't love them. They felt like maybe Aaron hated them for some reason. Maybe it was their fault. And then that trusted friend, told Sky that no, they weren't wrong. That what was happening to them wasn't their fault. That maybe Sky needed help. But Sky couldn't accept that help. Sky was still scared. So Sky lied. Said they got a new stepmother, and nobody questioned Sky. There was CBS. Not CBS. Child Protective Services. They questioned Sky during recess. And I remember when I walked into that room and that woman started to ask me questions about home life. And when she asked, "Does your parent hit you?" I tightened my grip on my jacket, trying to make sure none of my skin could be seen. And I lied, and I told her no. My brothers didn't lie. They told her yes. Near before I left, Puppy went to school, came home with Kitty, and I was just turning the corner when I heard Puppy tell Aaron that, "Hey, you treat Sky like a slave." I didn't teach him that. I didn't tell him that. He learned it at school and applied it to how Aaron treated me. And he wasn't the only one, as Kitty called me a maid more times than I can count, because that's what I seemed like to him. A live-in maid, meant to do their bidding. Aaron, of course, blamed it on me. I was punished more. I was always grounded. I was never not grounded. And yet, I was taken advantage of. And when I came home after that happened, Aaron told me to immediately clean up the house because the boys were going to be having therapy soon and she needed the house clean. In that moment, she didn't even ask, "Hey, how's your day? Are you okay? You don't look well." Or anything. Just to immediately start to clean up. And so I didn't tell her anything. And then later, the next year after, Aaron told me that if anyone touched me inappropriately, to tell her. And I didn't know how to tell her that authority sailed. That's already passed. And obviously, the only thought running through my head was, you don't care. What is this bullshit? You clearly don't care. Sky stopped. He stopped being the good child he had tried so hard to be for them, because it didn't matter if he passed with A's and solid B's. It didn't matter if the teachers sung his praises. They didn't care. They didn't care to look at him. So, Sky stopped. Sky started to hang out with people he shouldn't. Sky skipped school on more than one occasion. Sky let his grades slip. And he was right. They didn't care. They didn't even ask him if his report card came. They'd stopped asking long ago. His teachers were surprised. Then Sky was given a miracle. Sky was sent to live with their grandmother over the summer. And Sky started to open up to her. Sky told her in I feel statements that they felt like their brothers were more important than they were. That they felt that maybe they didn't belong, and that maybe they weren't loved. And Sky's grandmother tried their best. It got better a little bit when Sky came back, but immediately Sky's grandmother called them, told them what Sky had said, and Aaron got mad about that. Aaron was pissed. I had to have a phone call with my grandmother, with her in the room, standing right in front of me, and her telling me to lie and tell my grandmother that everything was fine, everything was perfect, and that I made everything up. And so I did, and I lied so I wouldn't get hit again. And then I was being bullied. Sky had been bullied all through his school life, but this just going a step farther. His backpack was being stolen, and that's what made them. That's what gained their attention. When stuff was missing, that's when it mattered. Sky's dad, Jonathan sent Sky to live with his mom. Grandmother was alone now. Grandmother no longer had any birds in the nest, and grandmother's husband had passed. Grandmother's dogs had also passed away. Take care of each other. So, Sky went to live with their grandmother. And everything was fine for a bit, and then Sky was showing signs of cracking. And grandmother asked Sky to please tell her everything. And so Sky did. Stone-faced. No thoughts. Stared at the wall and told her everything that had happened. And Sky's grandmother cried, and Sky couldn't figure out why she would cry for him. What was so wrong about what he had said that would make her tear up and cry? Sky was immediately placed in therapy after that, where the therapist told Sky that they weren't wrong for what happened, that it was not their fault, that what she did to them was not okay. And Sky started to heal and mend, but Sky made excuses. Sky said that their father had nothing to do with it. Even though he had watched everything that had happened, Sky said, no. He's just busy. He just didn't understand. She hid it so well. Sky made excuses for him until Sky's father was supposed to visit, and grandmother was so excited to tell Sky this, and Sky had asked if they could use grandmother's phone to text their father that they were excited. And grandmother had said yes. They were at a McDonald's. And Sky opened those text messages, and Sky read that their father had cheated on Aaron. And Sky's grandmother panicked, telling Sky that they weren't supposed to see that Sky wasn't supposed to know, that Sky, it didn't have anything to do with Sky. And yet, Sky felt betrayed. The only reason Sky had stayed in such a horrible situation for so long, despite Sky's need to run away being so strong, was because of their love for their father. Because they kept telling themselves, if my father loves this woman, then I should stay. I can handle anything she throws at me, as long as my father loves her. Their father had cheated on Aaron with a woman 3 to 4 years older than Sky was. Sky was 13. He didn't stop. And one landed him in jail. Before that, little note. I had been in a mental hospital 2 times, and he did not visit. He did not come at all to see me. But I told him I changed my name, and he flew out here to see me. I just wanted to note that, because that also led into my decision. But yeah, he was sent to jail. Now Jonathan is in jail. Sky, he wasn't sure if grandmother was going to tell me or not. Grandmother told me because she knew I didn't deserve to have it sugar-coated. We had learned from my father cheating the first time. And I didn't know how to feel about it. I was numb to it. I didn't know how to feel. And at that point, my father had stopped feeling like my father and more like a family friend or acquaintance. So I really didn't know how to feel. And then he got out. And then he was put back in again because he did something stupid. And Sky just didn't know how to feel. But then Sky built this. Sky built a career, sort of. It's not really a career if I'm not making money, right? I don't know. Anyway, point is, I like this. I like having friends. I like being a streamer and making videos. And he threatens that with what he did. And that scares me. What led me to my final decision is the fact that there was a moment while I was living with grandmother when he came to visit for a funeral. And I told him that Aaron yelled at me a lot. That's all I said. And there could have been an easy response of, oh, did it feel that way? Or, oh, I didn't notice that. Or, oh, are you okay? He told me she yelled a lot because of her anxiety. I didn't know how to feel about him. That's when I first started to question if he was somebody I wanted in my life. Period. But with everything else that happened, and especially now, he asked grandmother to ask me if I could message my brothers to see how they are, because Aaron wasn't talking to him. He was using me to talk to them. And I messaged one of my brothers. And when I found out he wanted both, not just one, I said no. You don't use your child. I'm sorry Aaron isn't talking to him, but maybe she doesn't want you talking to her boys. And that is fair. Those are her children. And because of that, I have led to my final decision. I don't want him in my life. I want to speak to him one last time to tell him everything that went wrong in my life. Because there's a lot more than what I've said that happened. I did not talk about the school life. I did not talk about the other incidents that happened to me. And I want to sit down and see him and see his face when I tell him that, and then I want nothing to do with him. Because I'm done. I'm tired of having to parent him. I'm tired of having to be older than I am. For him. I'm tired. Let me be a kid. Let me be stupid and funny. I know I'm not technically a kid anymore. I mean, I'm still a teenager, so fuck off. But, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's my dad. Maybe I'll do one about Erin, 'cause there's a lot more I didn't say about her. Maybe I'll do one about the other stuff that happened. For now, though, that's it. Bye. I don't know. I would say I hope this never goes public, but at the same time, it probably will if my dad gets out and tries to talk with me. Tries to brag how I'm his daughter and I've built this career. Then yeah, this is being released. You bet your ass I'm not letting I am not letting him claim I am his daughter. I sure as fuck haven't been this entire time. But yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts. That's my feelings. Bye.